Hello again, everyone. So I've been getting asked a lot of questions with regards to prompt engineering. What is it? Why does it matter? Why is it important to me? Things like that. So this is just going to be a quick run through of what prompt engineering is with a couple examples. I have this public gist that I'm showing on the screen right now, and I will post that link in the description of this video. Just to be cute, right, we're going to do Ask ChatGPT. We'll be using ChatGPT 3.5 for this. What is prompt engineering? And it gives a basic definition of what it is. It kind of specifies the format. Effective prompt engineering involves several strategies: specifying the format, providing context, asking for clarification, adding instructions, iterative refinement, things like that. That's basically what we're going to go through in this quick demo. So let's get out of this gist, and we're just going to start running through it, right? Basic prompt that everybody started out with when these large language models, became publicly available was, hey, tell me something, generate something. So for this, we're just going to say, generate a list of ideas for domain name. And there you have, it's going to generate a long list, and they're kind of, all over the place. And I do like the fact that it specifies, when choosing a domain name, consider its availability, relevance to your brand, business. So then people start getting more creative, giving it more specific instructions. Generate a list of 5 really cool domain names for a fashion e-commerce site. Okay, here we go. It's starting to pay attention as you get more and more explicit. Style, Vista, Chic, Boutique. So now it's definitely more fashion favored domain names, right? Now let's start talking in the language of these large language models. For the most part, you're going to see human, then the prompt. A lot of times they'll give like pre-processing directives. You'll see system, then some parameters, then human, and then it'll be appended with assistant, . So let's just start getting into that. We're just going to use human for now. Paste that and see what we get. Lux Ave. So now we added, the trendy, the modern sounding, chic couture, things like that. Let's try to get even more specific. And this is what's called, in this specific instance, this is few shot prompting. And what that basically means is give it a couple examples, throw it a few shots out there to kind of prime the pump, let's just say. Paste that in, our few shot prompt. Vogue vibe, chic luxury, glamora. Now let's start adding even more context. We'll give it a time of day perspective. Give them a nightlife feeling. That's what we added. Okay, so let's see what we got. Give it a Parisian sounding name by incorporating high-end French words, a nightlife feeling. So we kind of added 2 on that one. Soiree chic. There we go. Let's go a little bit deeper, right? It's really not kind of what we want for our particular brand, so we're going to add a seasonal flair to it. And that's maybe a fall sense of the leaves turning color. So we're just kind of adding on to the instructions as we go, giving it more and more clarity and context of what we kind of want from this. 2 French words, meaning red leaf, golden night, autumn brilliance, fire night, luxury cinnamon, things like that. So now we're kind of on pace to get more of what we want. The next one, we're going to add a length constraint. Right? So we want to ensure that the names are no longer than 3 words to make sure that they're easy to remember. Right? So let's kind of add that in. Like let's get more specific. Night sparkle. So it kind of kept to the French vibe. The night sparkle, autumn chic, luxury leaves, but it's still no more than 2 words. So it's kind of keeping in context. It actually boiled it down to 2, so that's a good thing. Moving on, we're going to add a little randomization. This last line that we added was, for one of the names, generate a completely random domain name for the site without any of the previous constraints. Let's paste that in and see what we get. And there's our, obviously it highlighted our random Vogue domain name. Now let's give it a specific target audience. So getting even more specific. So for this, we're going to say the site is for women between the ages of 18 and 25 who travel and speak English and French. Sure, we got our extra line in there. There we go. Flower of the Night, Paris Vogue, Shroom Lux, Young Luxury, Envy Glam. That's our random. So we, remember we kept our random our random domain name. Now we're going to go through what's called chain of thought prompting, right? And so let me explain that real quick. So chain of thought prompting is basically kind of giving it context to what you wanted. You are a website, or you are the owner of an e-commerce website. Your website is a fashion shop, and now we're kind of giving it thoughts to go off of as it assumes the position of the website owner, right? So that's just kind of making the large language model add some thought to itself. Paste it in and see what we get. And so now if you notice, like, it's starting to provide explanations of why it chose night glam fall. The domain name combines concepts of nightlife, glamour, and fall. And it does the same thing for each of those. Also, once again, it highlights remember to check the availability, which I really like. Now we're going to get into what's called tree of thought prompting. So tree of thought prompting is kind of walking it through a situation and making it think out those situations. Very high level explanation. You are the owner of an e-commerce website. You hire 3 high quality branding agencies to provide a high quality domain name. Kind of redundant, but you decide to have them compete for your business by providing a domain name recommendation. Only 2 of the agencies are aware that your website is a fashion shop. Only 2 of the agencies know that your best customers are women between the ages of 18 and 25 who travel and speak English and French. So we're adding the context that we put in previously, but we're kind of making it think out how it would go about generating those domain names for us, right? Only 1 of the agencies knows that the best-selling items appear to be form-fitting dresses. Only 1 of the agencies knows that your highest sales season is fall-autumn, and not 1 agency has complete knowledge. Provide a breakdown of how they could deliver to you precisely the domain name that is most aligned with your target customers while remaining easy to remember. Each agency is required to provide 2 high-quality, easiest to remember domain names based on the information they have. For each name, provide an explanation of this recommendation. So now we're getting even deeper. Now we want to item in the list of the domain names, come up with why. What's the explanation for this? Right. So now we're getting even more guided. Let's run that and see what we come up with. So you see now it's starting to break down by the agency. What's really slick about this is the large language model itself, in this case ChatGPT, it's deciding which agency knows what. So agency 3 possesses knowledge about high sales season. Agency 2 is aware that your website is a fashion shop. Agency 1, based on the awareness your website is a fashion shop targeting women. And then it goes into each of their recommendations as well as an explanation. Let's go one step further. So in this is once again tree of thought. In the next, we're going to take what we added before, the agency competition, but this one we're going to add, then rank the domain names based on the New York Paris clientele, highest selling season, easiest to remember, and provide a rationale for the rankings, right? So this gets even deeper. So now we're going to say, think through all of this, and then once you generate all of these previous recommendations, rank them in order of what our criteria is, most matching our criteria, and then give us the rationale for why you ranked them in that order. Agency 1, there's its 2 recommendations with their explanations. Agency 2, same thing. Agency 3, same thing. And then here's the recommendation, nightlifecouture.com. This domain name captures New York Paris clientele, emphasizes best-selling form-fitting dresses used for nightlife. The bottom, number 6, is this domain name emphasizes the seasonal appeal of fall positions. Remember to assess these rankings based on your specific goals, target audience, and brand identity. So there's kind of giving you each ranking and the rationale behind each ranking, but it's still saying, as a side note, you might want to go a little bit deeper. So that's basically prompt engineering 101. Like I said, it's really quick, high level, tree of thought. What we reviewed was tree of thought, chain of thought, and then getting very specific with your instructions to the prompt. There you have it. The use case for this is, widely varied. Specifically, if you're a solopreneur or, a solo freelancer, things like that, and you don't really have time or obviously the capital to hire an expert in this domain, this is just something really quick that can get you up to speed so you can walk through your process, or actually walk the large language model through your process to get higher quality results faster. So in my line of work, we always talk about actionable information. This, to me, prompt engineering is a way to get the most actionable information or content out of these large language models in the minimal amount of time possible without having to just try and scour through an endless list of potential domain names that really don't match what you're going for. Hope that helps. This is Prompt Engineering 101. Really quick, really high level. Thank you for your time.